I do find it daunting and a bit scary that everyone knows my whole story now. It is a bit scary.
High above the streets of the city he served and protected for 3.5 decades, former Deputy Police Commissioner Nick Caldis drew quite a crowd as he launched his book, Behind the Badge.
It was sort of cathartic. There are things that I've not really said out loud to anyone.
Nick is always thinking about other people, although he's such a high profile.
You know, you put your life on the line many times in the police, as many of us have and many still do. And it's great that people can hear that and be inspired by it.
In the world of policing and criminal investigations, there's not much he hasn't done. From the head of homicide to the gang squad and counter-terrorism, the once undercover operative found the highest of profiles. When he left the force after 35 years as Deputy Police Commissioner, he was hand-selected by the United Nations to head up major criminal investigations in Iraq and Syria. On the cover of Behind the Badge, it tells a story of resilience, courage and fortitude.
You've read the book, not everyone here's read it. What do you make of it?
I found it really insightful into Nick, and I'm knowing him nearly 30 odd years, there were things that I didn't know. His beginnings were quite amazing.
He talked about bullying.
Yeah, he did. He also talked about coming here from Egypt and how his father was basically a self-made millionaire, and then coming here and then living in very poor accommodation, like boarding homes almost, you know.
Nick Caldis began his career in 1981.
For years I thought I was too short, so I didn't apply. I went and did a few other things, and then finally I got enough guts to go into College Street headquarters as it was, and I wasn't too short. You're not going to believe it, I was too skinny. I had to put on weight. So I haven't had that problem for a while.
And it wasn't long before he met Mark Morrie, now crime editor at the Daily Telegraph.
You've read a lot of books. How did you feel reading it? Is it an enjoyable read? Do you hear Nick's voice in it?
It's literally like being in the Shakespeare Hotel. For me, where I...
That's the first place. That's where you met him.
That's where I met him. Yeah. That's where we used to always drink with pops, constantly, every week. And you can feel this flavour of Nick. As I said, there's bits of his wry humour. You have to really read these bits and self-effacing at times. You think about the guy. He's been on the world stage. So in the book, you get a sense of that. You can see Nick telling the stories.
Joined by Police Commissioner Karen Webb, the gathering at Clayton Utes' offices heard it took 3 years for Nick to write the book, while also chairing the Royal Commission into Defence and Veteran Suicide.
When I came back from Iraq in particular, I know I had very bad PTSD, and I'm not proud of the fact that in the environment, we're all big, hard, tough men, and it's very difficult for men to ignore the stigma and put their hand up and say, look, I've actually been through hell, I'm not well, I need your support rather than judgment. And I hope it's one of the messages the Royal Commission into Defence and Veteran Suicide has pushed out. There is absolutely nothing wrong, and people should not be judged if they've been through torturous experiences to actually put their hand up and say, look, I actually need help.
I spent a bit of time in the US last year, and it really struck me how often people say thank you for your service. It really is part of the culture.
It's very different to the Australian culture.
And more than just a token gesture that people say.
Yeah, they actually mean it. Yeah,
We don't do that here.
No, we don't. But you're absolutely right. But the other, I think, major difference is that in the US, the political class or the political level seems to have a lot more interest and delve into the welfare of men and women who have served or are serving. It just seems to be on the radar a lot more than what it is here.
You'd like to see that change?
I definitely, and I think the public and the media have a huge role to play in that space. And I hope one of the things the Royal Commission has achieved is that we've made the problems that exist clear and undeniable, and hopefully things will get better from here. I'm really heartened by the fact that the government has accepted 104 out of the 122 recommendations in record time. Very grateful for that.
Look, I've known Nick for over 30 years. We've worked together in the job. We've socialised together. He's a great bloke for everyone that knows him. It was wonderful coming to support him, buy his book and read his stories, because I'm sure that they will change people's lives. There's something about Nick and his charisma that really, ignites people and society. He's done so much work, particularly in the multicultural and the community, and I'm looking forward to reading his book.
A lot of people may not know his name specifically, but when they hear of all the stories and the world's way he's represented Australia on the world stage in so many different spheres, he's an extraordinary individual, isn't he?
Oh, look, absolutely. I remember when he first came back from Iraq and we sat down and had a cup of coffee and he told me the stories. I thought they were just absolutely fascinating. The things he went through, all the success he's had, the achievements, all well-deserved, hard-working man, good bloke. And, a fellow foreigner like myself who did well in the society and in the police force.
And as much as this is his story, it's kind of, I mean, the things that he touches on, Roger Rogerson, Operation Dennis.
Dennis,
It's a story.
Samantha Knight. I mean, the Fong No. That was huge for people. Fong No, that was a guy. We had a member of Parliament assassinated, and Nick was. He used some very innovative techniques to actually catch the guys there, the 5T guys that were behind it with Fong No. Yeah,
So it's really a
the
story-
gambit is amazing, isn't it?
It's a story of Sydney's history, really. Anyone who wants to know Sydney policing would have to.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, as you say, and he talks about the dark moments of when he was bugged, and all these 100 cops were bugged. We went from having a corrupt police force to being a paranoid police force, and Nick kind of touches on that and how he stood up for what he believed was right for those other 100 people. And we all know it cost him being the New South Wales Police Commissioner. But not that it just cost him a job, it probably cost New South Wales in the end. So
In the end, I just wanted to have some sort of legacy, if you like, or record of our family's journey from Egypt to here and the things we've done here. And I think I've done that. Hopefully my kids, grandkids and great-grandkids now have a record they can look back on.